Hello, good afternoon. My name is Edgar Rascon Perez, and today I am going to present to you my evidence 3 for contemporary world. First of all, let's talk about globalization. Globalization is the process between countries where the exchange of products is made. This means that the globalization helps countries to make relationships worldwide. The globalization affected the world in different ways. With this, I mean socially, economically, and politically. In an economically way, it affects the entire economy of the world. The trading of products between countries moves the economy worldwide. Now, in a social aspect, it affects the cultures between countries. With this, I mean that the globalization represents the exchange of ideas, values, and cultures between countries. In the political aspect, the globalization has created different international organizations like the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. With this, I mean that the globalization has created an organization that helps the economy of the world to be better. Now let's talk about terrorism. Terrorism means a way to attack a specific thing and it's created to accomplish a kill or to cause fear in people. It normally attacks people in the society or important characters in the world. Terrorism can be made by political organizations with both the rightist and leftist objectives. This could be made by nationalistic groups or religious groups, and even by state institutions that are armies, police, and intelligent forces. A thing to highlight about terrorism is that it was a trend topic theme in the early 2000s when the attacks to the New York Trade Center and the Pentagon were made. So it also generated a lot of racism in the US to the Muslim people. So it is a problem that it is still going on because people fear them that they could be terrorists or something like that. But now, what is the unipolar world? Well, the unipolar world is a concentration of power in a single nation. This means that in a unipolar nation, the power concentrates in only one country. In this case, the United States is the only country capable of doing this, thanks to the economic and military powers. A thing that you need to know about the United States unipolarity is that even though the country has unipolarity, does not mean that everything is under control by them and does not have international affairs. They do have international affairs and they don't have everything in the country under their own control. Now let's talk about the digital era. Well, the digital revolution or digital era is a phenomenon that is occurring right now and totally defines our era. With this I mean that this era was started when the television and the telephone were created. After these two, all kind of technological advances had been made through history to a point where we are now. The progression of the computer in the middle of the 20th century has been a principal innovation that has marked the total revolution. So, as you know, we are the main characters in the digital era. We are the main buyers and clients of the digital era. So, let's see how far can this go. Now, let's answer some questions related to this topic. So, first of all, how did a globalization emerge? Well, the world needed an update on worldwide transport and global travel. From this, the whole globalization concept was emerged. In most cases, what caused the terrorist attacks of the 20th century? Well, one of the main factors of terrorist attacks are economic factors. With this I mean that the poverty is a cause for terrorists to outrage. Also political injustices are another cause for terrorism to become a thing. The third question says, how does the end of the Cold War can relate to the unipolar world? Well, when the Cold War ended, the Soviet Union dissolved. So this meant that now the US was going to be the most powerful economic power. So they have the biggest military forces and so no one could compete against them. And fourth and last, how has the digital era influenced today's society? Well, today's society is mostly made by the digital era. Digital things are in our everyday world. So we're mostly dependent of these things. For example, today we have online classes. So without the digital things in the digital era, we could not have school and the teachers would not have work. So it would be impossible to have classes if the digital era wasn't here right now. Now, here are some bibliographic references so you can see where I gathered my information. Thanks.